Welcome back. This is episode 26 of the Veterinary Business Video Show. In today's show, I'll introduce you to a veterinary practice management consultant from Australia and show you a clip from one of his workshops. We'll look at a brand new online resource for business managers here in the UK. I'll show you a nifty business tool you can use as a blueprint to set up and manage service standards in your practice, and I'll let you have my quick business tip for this episode. I'm John Sheridan, and this is the show that helps practice owners, managers and clinicians just like you to build your successful practice into a great business. For some time I've been in correspondence with Diederik Gelderman, a vet and business management consultant based near Sydney in Australia. Diederik has been described as the #1 veterinary coach who can transform your veterinary practice from a loss-making business into a powerful, profitable and effective investment. So you can imagine how pleased I was to have an opportunity to meet up with him recently during his brief visit to the UK. Diederik was born in the Netherlands and during the past few weeks has visited a number of veterinary practices in Holland, Spain and the UK before travelling to the United States, where he was due to run some practice management workshops in Boston and Los Angeles before returning home. I was delighted to spend some time with Diederik here in the UK, and I took the opportunity to ask him about some of the key business issues currently facing practice owners in Australia. We met in a business hotel lounge, so I apologise for some of the background sound effects in this video clip. But here's what he had to say.
I've got some general thoughts about practice in general, worldwide, and also about practice specifically in Australia. Worldwide, we're facing very, very similar issues, problems, challenges. And the first one is very simple. It's a lack of profitability. Worldwide, most practices seem to be netting after all expenses, about 7, 8, 9%. That seems to be industry norm everywhere. The really good quality practices are doing maybe 12 or 15%. Hey, look, according to me, you can get 8% in the bank. Certainly in Australia you can at the moment. Property and shares, you can get 12, 13, 14, 15%. We need to do a lot better than that as an industry to make it worthwhile to invest our time, effort, expertise, skills and money in this industry. And it's quite simple to do better than that once we learn how to do it. Our particular issues in Australia are similar to issues throughout the rest of the world. The #1 issue we have is HR, human resources. Vets in Australia are simply not trained to manage people, manage staff, and it's something they don't want to do as well. However, many of us are scared in Australia to let go and employ people to do that for us. And the practices that have made have made good headway in this area are the practices that are doing very, very, very well. The other issue, the big issue we have in Australia is that vets do non-veterinary things. So in many practices we will have a 1-to-1 vet to staff ratio, and even in 5 vet practices we'll have 5 vets and 5 staff. Which means that vets are doing non-vet things, like vets are drawing blood, putting animals on intravenous fluids, running blood tests through those sorts of things. That's not a particularly effective use of a veterinarian's time. And in Australia that really does impact on the bottom line. And when we leverage our nurses more effectively and leverage our receptionists more effectively and say have a vet staff ratio of 1-to-3, 1-to-4, 1-to-5, the practices become immensely more profitable.
And here's a short clip from Diederik, recorded during a workshop he recently presented to practice owners in Australia.
I want you to think differently about the millions of opportunities that pop up in your life and your practice every day.